All right, Sort of Sports Podcast, episode 167, and I had my good friend Brayden Hayes come on. We talked about some NFL Week 1 overreactions, had a great time. It was a really fun pod to do with him. Always happy when Brayden comes on. And we recorded this Tuesday night. You're going to be seeing this on Wednesday. So enjoy this. I should be back with you all tomorrow on Thursday to have my buddy Austin Fisher come on. We're going to talk about primetime picks, and we're going to do a new segment called EV Passes. We're going to discuss some NFL gambling stuff, so that should be really fun. So excited to have Austin on. Make sure you tune into that tomorrow. So that'll be the pod for today, and then I'll be back with you again tomorrow. And so let's get right into it with Brayden. And I got my good friend Brayden Hayes here, diehard Bills fan. So gotta ask, first of all, where does that win rank for you all time as a Bills fan? That Sunday night win.
And all time, it's probably top five. It's definitely a top five win. I think there's a few that are ahead of it. One of the ones that sticks out is the snow game versus the
Mm-hmm.
Colts. But that's probably up there. That was a crazy game.
No, it was like awesome. You and I were watching it together. We were going bananas. It was an awesome game. It was like we were watching it and we both thought it kind of felt like the Ravens had it. And then, I forget who it was. We were sitting there and they were like, dude, it's still a two possession game. Bills come back. And it's like, yeah, but like, and then no, they just did. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it was the Ravens for I would say probably 59 minutes in that game. Like
yeah.
the Ravens should have won, and then we kicked that literally game last second field goal. So.
Yeah. It's also one of those like, there was a little bit over the summers, people being like, oh, Lamar MVP, blah, blah, blah. A little bit of talk about that. Maybe Lamar should have won it. Look at the stats. Josh just won it because it was like a here, damn MVP, stuff like that. And then, he balls out like that on Sunday Night Football, first week of the season. You got to think it shuts some people up, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I think Lamar's, still has to get his dues, no matter how annoying the fans can be from either side. But it's like, I mean, it was probably the top two quarterbacks right now in the NFL going at it. I think they're I think they're number one and number two, and I think right now Josh is in that number one spot.
Well, and as somebody who also agrees, it was nice to have that kind of stated for everybody at the start of the year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. Like you couldn't have much more of a statement game from those two than
No,
that.
no.
Like it's like they made very few mistakes, like if any. Like I can't think of a play where I was like, what is Lamar doing? What is Josh Allen doing? Like they were both insane.
All right, well, let's get into the main part of the show. We're going to do week one overreactions because, as Kyle Brandt of NFL Network said, week one is a dirty liar like your ex-girlfriend. And so we're going to get into the first one I have for you. Brayden, first overreaction. Are the Lions not the same without Ben Johnson? What do you think of this?
I think that they're obviously not the same. Ben Johnson played a big part of that offense. He had the schemes and whatnot, and he was there for what was it? Was it 3 years
I believe
before
so. Campbell,
three or
I think's
four
first season
years?
was
So
2022, right?
okay,
Or
yeah, yeah.
21. It
So
was
he was either 3 or 4 years,
2021 was his
so
first year. So yeah, 4 years.
okay, so they've been under that scheme for a long time, but I think just as much as Ben Johnson leaving, also Aaron Glenn
Mhm.
being there for the Jets, it's also it's also a big thing. Losing both coordinators, it's not like an easy thing to deal with. So I think that the Lions will be okay. I don't think that they're going to get blown out every game. I think the Packers are a good team, so they'll be okay, but they're not the same without Ben Johnson.
Do we think they're not going to be as good?
I do think they won't be as good.
How much worse?
I think a
I mean, they went 15-2 last year.
15-2. I could see them whether they do 10 or 11 wins.
So what I think it was Dan Campbell's first year, I think they won two games or three. And then the next year was like 8-1. And then it was 12-5. And then last year I think it was 15-2. So what'd you say?
I think they're either 10 or 11.
I'm with you. I mean, I don't think 15-2 is achievable again anyways, like even with everybody.
No, I think I mean, their division is maybe the toughest in
Yeah.
football,
Mhm.
arguably. So, I mean, they play six just hard games throughout the year that they could theoretically lose every single one. I imagine they'll probably go 500 in them,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think 10 or 11 is probably the most realistic scenario. I don't see them going more than that, but
Yeah.
I could see them going less than that. But I think 10 and 11 max.
I honestly was not moved by Ben Johnson yesterday. We're still going to have that conversation about, this isn't an overreaction. This is a me reaction. I'm just saying. I'm not ready to buy into the hype. I was kind of zagging on that. Everybody's saying how good they were going to be. And last night was
Yeah,
not impressed.
I mean, people expected him to just turn the Bears offense into what Detroit was, scoring 29 points per game. But that's not possible. That's not how the NFL works. People have watched his offenses for the past 3 or 4 years, so it's they know what was coming, and I think the Vikings also have a top defense in the league. So
That is true.
I think the Bears are a brink of playoff team. They'll be a good competitor throughout the year.
Kind of give you my like really hot take, right?
Go for it.
I I think Jared Goff's better than Caleb Williams. I think that's part of it. At this point in time, he is.
I disagree talent wise. I think bringing everything together, I think maybe Jared Goff is still slightly ahead of Caleb Williams, but I think Caleb Williams talent wise I mean,
He's not as accurate as
if you
Jared
if
though. Jared's accurate.
Jared Goff has high accuracy plays for sure. There's some times where Caleb Williams missed some throws he shouldn't have last night.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes I wonder though with those like genius offensive gurus, do you really want somebody that's super dynamic? Or do you just want somebody who can run the system? And that's kind of what I have to sometimes think with the Harbaugh hiring in LA. Like everybody who listens to this podcast knows, I don't know why I pronounce LA like that. Everybody who listens to this podcast knows I'm a big Jim Harbaugh fan. I'm a, retired Herbert fan. We're going to talk about Herbert here in a moment. But sometimes it doesn't make sense to me. Like Herbert runs kind of a system offense. Like honestly, Brock Purdy or JJ McCarthy would slide into that better than somebody that's like dynamic like Herb. I mean, obviously Andy Reid has a system, but Mahomes is so dynamic, it works. Whereas like, how much like better would the Niners really be with a Josh Allen? It's like, well, they would have to rework the whole offense because he's so dynamic that he wouldn't want to do Kyle Shanahan's system. Does that make sense? Or is that a crazy take?
Yeah, I mean Ben Johnson's going from. I mean Jared Goff looked like the slowest man on the planet
Yeah.
when he was getting chased down by Micah Parsons the other day. But
I think I might have a beat
it's
for that race, I will say. I might be slower, but
I don't know. It'd be a good 40. It'd be a good 40 race.
we
No,
both put up like
he's
10
like
seconds.
probably not that slow, but it's definitely not a 4-4. No, I mean it's definitely different. So I think Caleb Williams is still in that. Reminds me kind of like that sophomore year Josh Allen, where he thinks that every play has to be a 25-yard, just behind the back, doing some crazy stuff. But I think I think things will settle in, and they'll be good.
I'm out. I'm fully out on Caleb Williams, but we'll see. All right, next overreaction. Aaron Rodgers, new life with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, are they gonna be good? Like, they gonna be like a good team, and Aaron Rodgers is gonna have like a great last ride.
Yeah, I thought that the Steelers could be a 10 or 11 win team this year, and I think
Okay.
after that, I'm not sure if the I'm not sure what happened defense wise. I just watched some clips from the game, so I don't know how the Steelers defense allowed that many points, and I don't know what happened with the Jets defense. But I mean, from what I saw, Aaron Rodgers he looked like a above average good QB. So is Aaron Rodgers back? He is slightly back. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he can keep up this pace. I'm gonna be out
Well,
once
he's not
again.
going to have 4 touchdowns. No way he'll. I don't think.
No.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have another 4 touchdown game this year.
I think
But I think that they will be an above 500 team.
Okay, so keep the streak alive.
Oh yeah.
I would say best case scenario, it's an 11-win team that some Steelers fans convince themselves is a contender, even though we all know they're not. Worst case scenario, he slows down, they have problems, they go 9-8, and they don't make playoffs. Right?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I just couldn't ever see them going below 500 until Mike Tomlin
He's a
proves
good
he'll go
coach.
below 500.
Yeah.
He's a great coach, but I think it really does depend on Aaron Rodgers and how it continues to go. If they start to hit a slump for 3 or 4 weeks, you'll see the media start freaking out, and who knows where it'll go from there.
Well, sticking with that Jets Steelers game, next overreaction is Justin Fields finally found his groove. He played well.
Uh, he played well for sure, and it's against every single year at top 10, like above league average defense. And it was very surprising because typically the start of the year defenses are just better than the offenses, but I think this week we saw a lot of high scoring close games. I'm not sure why. I don't know. I mean, but if you look at all of those games, the quarterback play was above average. The quarterback play was very good. So, I don't think the Jets have it talent wise, and I Justin Fields still has to prove it. So I wouldn't say he's found his groove yet. But if the Jets are 4-4, come after week 8, I think he would have proved a lot of people wrong so far.
I'm kind of in with this team. I think this team could win like 9 games. I think they could be second in the division, maybe. If the Patriots aren't as good as I think they're going to be, and like it takes longer for Vrabel to do what he wants to do, and there's just not a lot going on. And Drake May kind of has an iffy year. Like he's good, but he's not great. Could this Jets team be the second best team in the AFC East? I think there's a real chance of that. And, Justin Fields having yeah, I'm going to be the franchise guy here. Let's get some more guys in next year. Me and Garrett Wilson played together in college. Like, I actually am kind of in. Like, that's an overreaction I believe in.
Okay, I can see it for sure. I don't know talent wise, other than I mean Garrett Wilson is extremely talented, but it's like I other than that, Brees Hall has had like a few slumps the past few years. He's going into his contract year, so this is a huge year, obviously for him. So I expect him to he'll do everything he can. Braylon Allen, I saw had a really solid touchdown run. Um, they do have some like young key pieces, so it depends on. I think it depends on how well the Patriots do. I could see either one of them being a 9-win team.
Yeah. Now, we were talking about some good quarterback play. Let's pivot to some bad quarterback play. Bo Nix, sophomore slump on the way, or is this a full-on Mac Jones situation?
It not a sophomore slump 1 game in. It's an overreaction for 1 game in,
And that's the
but
whole idea, right? I mean,
that's the whole idea here. But I do think he'll regress. Maybe not completely statistically, like he might have a little bit better stats than last year, but just you look at almost every sophomore QB. CJ Stroud had a worse season. Let's think of anybody else. Bo
Jane
Nix
Daniels is
might
not
have a
gonna.
worse
Jane Daniels
season.
look great.
Jaden Daniels look good, but I think the Giants, other than their defensive line, I think the Giants aren't very good. Um,
So you're saying it's
I
coming.
I'm saying that he won't he won't excel a lot this year. Teams have a full year of film on this guy,
Yeah.
but I do think I mean I think they'll be a solid team, and I think they do still have a chance to. I think they have a chance to win the division.
I think the Commies are the best team in that division. I think Jane Daniels gonna have an MVP year. I don't believe in sophomore slump for him. That dude's special, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I mean, there's going to be those special players. I do think that once the Commanders play some better teams, I could see them playing Jaden a little better. But I mean, when the Commanders have a lead and they don't have to worry as much about the Giants' pass rush, that's the thing. The Giants have this elite pass rush, but when the teams are in short third down situations, they don't have to throw it, and it just makes the Giants' strength. It just negates it a lot.
Yeah. And now with that, talking about some AFC West quarterbacks. Regression. Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs. Are the Chiefs, is the dynasty over? Well, I don't know if it was a real dynasty, but I
No, I
mean, I
think
mean,
they're a
there has been
dynasty.
one team that went to four straight Super Bowls.
Yes,
Um,
we know that team. Yeah,
and the Chiefs, if they did it this year, would be the other one, obviously. Um, but it did look like they took a step back. Now, granted, they had to cross the equator. Things always happen. Like it's always weird when we do these international games.
it
But
is.
are the Chiefs not the Chiefs of old? That's the question.
I think the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are bound to not make the Super Bowl this year. I say that very cautiously because they very well could, and they very well could once again beat the Bills. But just looking at the Chiefs team, I haven't heard anything on Worthy. Has there been any update on
I haven't. No, I haven't seen
him at
anything.
all? I haven't seen anything on him. So he's the key weapon, obviously. Um, yeah, it's just Rice, his whole situation. I mean, Juju Smith Schuster is getting a lot of snaps out there, which is not necessarily the greatest thing to hear
No,
if you're a Chiefs fan.
no.
Travis Kelsey is not getting any younger. He is also a married man now. So,
Well, he's gonna be
he's gonna
married.
gonna be married. He's an engaged man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they have Patrick Mahomes, so it's hard to count them out of anything. But I do think the Chiefs, they're not the favorites anymore.
No, I'd say the Eagles might be moving into the. Oh, it's the Eagles. That's just good every year now.
I agree. They have Jalen Hurts, who is this, still in the prime of his career. He's a stud. They got Saquon, who's the former offensive player of the year last year. He's just they're an amazing team. They have a still good defense. I do think that their defense might have regressed slightly after losing a few core pieces, but they are kind of like the Chiefs. You kind of expect them to win every game.
Yeah, Bill Simmons had an interesting point on his pod. He was saying the Chiefs are kind of like the 2010s Patriots, where they're flashy and exciting, and Brady's balling out, and Gronk and all that. And he's like, and the Eagles are kind of like the early 2000s Patriots, where they're just kind of smarter than everyone. Like when it comes to like the way they build their roster. And it's like they have a good quarterback. He's not like putting up bonkers numbers because that was back before Brady put up bonkers numbers. Like that was early Brady, more system quarterback. Because I think Hurts is good, but I don't think Hurts is that upper tier quarterback. I think he's like the best of the system guys.
I think I disagree. I think he's a top five guy. I
What?
think I do.
You think
I
he's the
mean,
fifth best?
let me go through real quick. So we have
So there's
Josh and
yeah, there's the
Lamar.
obvious four. Yeah,
Josh Lamar. I mean, Mahomes is still obviously going to be there, and then Joe Burrow,
yeah, that's
right?
the big four. And then the fifth is where it
And
gets interesting.
then after that, I think you could argue Hurts. I mean, I don't see. I mean, I think Jane Daniels is starting to creep into that conversation depending on how the rest of the year goes. I think Jordan Love is a stud. I think he'll be I think he'll be very good this year. But other than that, I don't really look at anybody and like, maybe we can make an argument for Herbert, but I think the fifth place spot is completely open.
I think the underrated guy there's Matthew Stafford.
I think he's underrated, but he's coming out like I think the guy like sleeps in like a this massage bed
Oh, I've
every single
seen
day.
that. I've seen that. Yeah,
He is spending so much money to keep his health and try to keep playing this game that it's like his body is actually falling apart.
yeah. It's like $150,000 like thing. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and you touched on the Eagles building a roster, kind of like unlike anybody else, and they've taken this idea of it's void years is how they build out these contracts. So, they'll give this 7-year deal, but it has 3 void years attached to the end of it, which essentially allows them to continuously delay money over and over and over. So you see them sign these star players to these huge contracts. Like, how are they paying all these guys? Is their owner is spending a good amount of money for the team to win, but they're also putting all this money more down the line. And you will see here, I don't know if it might be 2030, it might be before that. The next TV rights deal comes in. And I mean, the salary cap, I think almost doubled this last time. It's gonna go through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Howie Roseman, I think like there's such a weird situation because I don't think anyone considers Nick Sirianni to be an elite coach. And you're one of the few people I know that considers Hurts to be top five. So it's a weird thing where like the GM and everyone but the quarterback gets like I think the number one thing people talk about them is their offensive line or Saquon.
Yeah, I mean their offensive line is it's just absolutely insane. When you look at who they have on it, it's actually unbelievable just how good they've continued to be. So I think that is the I mean the wide receiver core. AJ Brown caught one pass and they won. And it's like I don't know if you could really say that about many other teams. The wide
No.
receiver
Yeah.
one only catching one pass and winning. So they just I mean on paper they are probably the best team in the league.
Well, and I think the Devontae Smith piece for me is like how many other teams? There's probably maybe five or six other teams that he's wide receiver one on.
Oh yeah, for sure. He might be. I was gonna say number one. He's probably number two in wide receiver. Two is it T Higgins might
Yeah.
have him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a very good wide receiver too.
Let's go a little bit away from some good teams. Let's talk about the real shitters. Are my Panthers awful? Week one overreaction.
Are they awful?
I mean,
Might
like one of the worst teams in the league.
I think that they will finish third in their division if that makes
Oh
you
no, it's yeah, it's pretty
if that
rough.
if that
Bad.
makes you happy. But no, the I don't know. It's the Jaguars. I think are a better team than a lot of people want to see, but I do think that they are just the Jaguars will probably be an average team. So Bryce Young didn't look good. He did not
No,
look like the post bench Bryce Young.
no, he didn't. He wasn't as
So
bad as pre-bench Bryce Young. He was a weird in between.
yeah, he's in between that isn't gonna win you games, and he like won't. He didn't do anything that was good.
We have the
He was like
worst
Andy
defense I've
Dalton.
ever watched.
Yeah, that's also a problem. The defense, I mean, when you allow it was the most yards in NFL history,
Yeah,
right? This
last
past
year.
year.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, it's you just can't do
If we're
that.
bad this year, like our record doesn't improve any from last year, it's worse. I think we should just draft Caleb Downs. Because we're so bad defensively, like it's not going to improve if we just take another quarterback. Like I don't think Bryce is awful, awful. And even if he's not going to be the franchise guy, fine. But let's build up the team. Let's get Caleb Downs, and then turn around the year after, get Jeremiah Smith, and then we'll draft a quarterback. Play the long game for once.
Yeah, they can't keep on trying this quarterback carousel. It's definitely not gonna be the way that it works. So I think I agree. If they're bad again, they have to finally put in some money, firstly, which I think might be an ownership issue. And then
Yeah.
draft some good defensive players.
Caleb Downs is going to be the best player in this upcoming draft, and he's not going to go top five. And it's going to be infuriating when it's like he's absurdly good. But it's just because teams are
Yeah,
going to take quarterbacks or wide receivers ahead of him, and it's like, or like a defensive end, and it's like, no, he is like the best player in draft by a mile.
yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. But I mean, he's pretty insane. Like he's gonna be a good player in the league. You just
It's
look at him.
yeah, it's kind of like when Brock Bowers got drafted, and I was like, how did this guy not go top five? Like he's going to be the best tight end potentially his first year, and he was. It's like
Yeah,
everybody's talking about positional value, and it's like, okay, how did Brock Bowers not go top 10?
yeah. It's just it all depends on their needs, and a lot of teams have hopped onto this draft a quarterback early type of
Mhm.
thing. You saw it. I mean, you see it with almost every team now. Every team is drafting their first pick is going to be a quarterback, unless you're the Cleveland Browns, then you
Or the Steelers.
or the Steelers,
I mean,
but
they
they
went
kind
Pickett
of
that year, I guess, but
yeah. I mean, they're going all in on A Rod, who's I mean,
yeah.
this has got to be his last year. I can't see him playing anymore after this, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Uh, last overreaction. I've been having people tell me you got off the train too early. Oh my gosh, Ryan, you sold Herbert stock too early. Is Justin Herbert, is this the year? Is he going to be an MVP caliber player? Are the Chargers going to be a Super Bowl contender? Is this really what's happening?
A lot of me has wanted to not believe that they will be Super Bowl contenders
Oh
because
my gosh, no way you're going to say this.
there's something about the Harbaughs. I just don't like the Harbaughs. They just win. They win too much for me, right? They're
Yeah.
winners. And I do think that they drafted all the right pieces. I think Omarion Hampton's a stud. I think I don't like Najee, so more snaps can go to Hampton. I think the wide receiver room is actually shaking out how it should be. Keenan Allen is a great vet in the room. He's back. Quentin Johnston actually made awesome plays like we thought he might have out of TCU. And then, obviously you got McConkey, who is just this
Dog.
solid,
He's dog.
solid guy to go back to.
Yeah.
Tyler Conklin, he fumbled, I think,
He's not very
Friday night.
good.
I think he is a average tight end. He's kind of like a little safety weapon for him. But I mean, I'm looking at their roster right now, and I think I do think that the Herbert train has full head of steam this year.
Oh my gosh. If this is real, like if this is the year, it's clearly on me.
Yeah, I think you need to maybe if Herbert pops off this year, you might have to get rid of the Carolina Panthers gear and just go to somebody you dislike, and it might put the curse on them.
So like who we thinking? Like, am I taking down the Chiefs?
Yeah, I
But like if
think
I wear Chiefs gear, I think I might be shot.
you're definitely not a fan favorite if you wear some Chiefs
No.
gear.
No. I mean, is there anybody that's like dislikable other than the Chiefs right now? Like I don't think anybody's like
Eagles.
hates the Eagles.
I dislike the Eagles.
I don't like them, but I don't dislike. So
But I mean, that's just how it is when teams win. You dislike them. I mean,
yeah,
like I enjoyed the watching the Eagles before they were successful. Like when they were like a fun team to watch. I
yeah,
liked watching Shady when he was with the Eagles. Those are awesome
yeah.
highlights to watch. But it's just like you see these teams have success and like you're like, I wish that was my team.
Well, at least you have Josh Allen. I mean,
Yeah.
you have that going for you. I got
Yeah, it makes every week just
you have
exciting.
the quarterback everyone wishes they had.
Yeah, everyone except for like probably two or three teams.
I
Everybody
think there's
else,
some Bengals fans out there who are like,
I do think Bengals fans, maybe a few, but it's like if you're a Chiefs fan, you're
"No,
like, yeah,
you're fine with
you
Mahomes."
don't you
And
don't want anybody else. And then Ravens fans, I back Lamar so much that
yeah,
yeah,
I think there'd be a few Bengals fans, but you're right. I mean, like the Eagles would take Josh Allen in a heartbeat.
yeah, probably.
I mean, their fans would be like, "No, we don't need him." But if it came down to it, like, yeah,
I
like don't lie
can't
to
picture
yourself.
him. I can't picture him wearing like that white and
He's gonna
and
be a Bill
blue
for
jersey.
life. I mean,
I really hope so.
there's no way. He's gonna have a damn statue.
If he brings a Super Bowl, there is a 100% chance that he has a statue.
Dude, I saw like there's this like articles getting like re-aggregated, and it's like Josh Allen saying like when he was getting drafted, he's like, "I'm gonna be the man to fix the Browns. I want to be that guy." And everybody's like, "Oh, they could have had it." I'm like, "Do you really think the Browns could have made that work?"
I mean, he was such a raw talent that now everybody drafts these raw talent QBs, almost expecting them to become a superstar. That's Anthony Richardson. He's had his injury problems, but it's like they expected him to. Oh, all he needs is the accuracy, and he'll just be a stud. And it's like the accuracy is it's something that Josh Allen was an outlier. Like
Yeah.
a lot of analysts were right on, like, yeah, his accuracy probably won't be good, but he just something clicked.
Boy, can that Josh Allen sling it.
He can sling it.
Dude, he's just a dog. Like he does the thing that used to be fun about Mahomes was like he would have these games where you'd be watching and you'd be like, this is magical. Like this is absurd. And he still does it every once in a while. Like when he did that falling pass, like he just does some crazy shit.
Yeah,
But now it's more like he's almost like I don't want to use clip farming because that sounds very like internet of me, but honestly it kind of feels like clip farming at this point sometimes with him. It's like so I saw a tweet one time, it was like Mahomes is like if all of Jameis Winston's bad ideas worked.
yeah,
And it's like, yeah, kind of. And the thing is with Allen is like we were watching that game together and there was like 40 seconds left in the first half. And I jokingly said, left too much time here for Josh Allen. And then they marched down and scored, made it look easy. Like he just had a
yeah. That
beautiful ball to Keon Coleman at midfield. Wasn't Keon Coleman or was it Shakir?
the
It was
pass down the
Shakir.
middle,
It
the
was
pass down
Shakir.
the middle. I know on the last drive it was Shakir, and then Keon had that big pass. But I mean that pass to Kincaid when they had two rushers, they had nine people in coverage.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. If somebody said, your life depends on this football game, who do you want playing quarterback? We're not telling you the rest of the teams. I think I would go with Josh Allen over Mahomes right now.
It, maybe right now it's tough for me to say that Josh Allen over Mahomes in the clutch time. I mean, Josh Allen is probably statistically, it's probably between him and Mahomes for the most clutch drives and most like fourth quarter winning drives. But I think 13 seconds might have just scarred me at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was back in the days when like I really thought the Chiefs were like new hotness and I was into it and I thought it was cool. And like the Bills came along and I was like, who okay, everybody's new favorite team. I was like, fuck these guys. And the third I was like prepared to be pissed. My dad thought Josh Allen was cool, and of course 13 seconds marched down the field score. And I was like, yeah, that's what I thought, Dad. And then, over the last couple years, I've completely been converted to the point. Like I don't like the Chiefs at all. The Bills, like I root for them all the time. And of course, Genevieve loves the Bills, so I watch every Bills game. My family likes the Bills. Like I watch Bills games with you. Like pretty much our whole friend group becomes Bills fans whenever they're on. And they basically, I think the Bills and Lions are clearly like America's teams. Like those are the two most popular.
Yeah, I think there has been hate kind of coming from both teams as they've found a little bit of continued success, but I do think that they're just the easy teams to root for because they've just suffered for so long.
Yeah,
It's like please let something good happen.
I think if the Browns could be competent and had like a likable
They
quarterback,
they would
yeah.
be in the Americas team, yeah.
Like I think people there was a little bit of that momentum when Baker was there in 2020. Like that momentum
Oh
was starting
yeah,
coming.
and then they got rid of them.
Yeah, yeah, they blew that, but whatever.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right. We're gonna wrap this up. We got a couple minutes left. So I was gonna ask you one team that impressed you this last week. You're like, oh, okay.
One team that probably the biggest team that impressed me, and I don't think they played an amazing opponent, but I expected them to lose. The Colts.
Okay. Yeah, I
I
like
think the
this.
Colts. I think. I mean, granted, there was a lot of turnovers, so we'll see how it looks when Daniel Jones's offense has to go, all the way down the field. I think Tua, the pick, I think he fumbled. That it was a bad game from Tua. That's a different conversation. But the Colts, I mean, Daniel Jones looks like a good quarterback. Jonathan Taylor is still Jonathan Taylor. He's going to be, a top running back in the league. Tyler Warren he might be that guy.
Yeah.
Uh, I wish I got him in more fantasy leagues, but I didn't. And then, I mean, looking at the rest of their receiving core, obviously Michael Pittman, he had a good game,
He had a
and I
nice
think
snag in the end zone. I don't know if you saw that.
yeah, I don't know if I saw that one.
I was watching Red Zone. There, I was not tuning in to Colts Dolphins
To
like
the
off
Colts
rip. I
Dolphins,
was
yeah,
not. I don't care how good Danny Dimes is playing. I'm not tuning into that shit. So
yeah,
I was on. I was tuning into Red Zone because the Panthers game was on delay for an hour and a half. A lot of delays. Three different games had weather delays.
yeah. There was some storms coming up, and I know that was a concern for this opening weekend. But thankfully, I think so. It was that obviously the opener, and then the Panthers game. But was there any other ones that had any
Broncos game was delayed
delays?
for a bit.
Broncos had a delay. So yeah, that kind of sucks opening week. But at least it was that Thursday night game was a tough
That
one
was
to
bad.
play.
I'm sure the NFL's pissed about that too.
Yeah, and I think the Cowboys are probably pissed about that one. They had this,
Yeah,
this kind of momentum, and then they have to wait for.
you're 100% right. It definitely pissed them off. Like that ruined that game for them, I think. I think they had a chance to win. I really do.
Yeah, they and I thought that they'd be a good team, and I think it proves that their offense
Hmm.
can be very good. And they honestly they stopped Saquon very well. So
Yeah.
I think it depends on how their defense keeps playing. I think what Eberflus is their coordinator, if I remember correctly. But
Oddly enough, yeah. I mean, great day
yeah, I
for the
don't.
old shitter coaches. Like Eberflus had a nice day. Patricia killed it for Ohio State 2 weeks
Yeah, I
ago.
mean, you listen to the broadcast for Ohio State, and they were like, "Yeah, Patricia's showing some NFL level stuff."
Yeah.
So, maybe he's not a good head coach, but he might be a solid DC.
It's who John Gruden needs to recruit when he becomes a head coach again. Get Patricia with him.
Yeah,
It'd be,
Raiders. We'll see once once it runs out of the Geno Smith trial and
yeah.
all that stuff.
I want to see Gruden coach in the SEC. I want to see him coach college.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know. I think he
He's
would have
such a
taken a
pro
college
guy. I know.
opportunity. Yeah, I think he would have taken a college opportunity already, but
Yeah.
let's see.
All right, my team that impressed me was the Minnesota Vikings. I thought JJ would come in there, run a system offense. My pro comp from years ago was Brock Purdy. So he reminded me of. I mean, that dude just goes out and wins. You want to talk about a winner? Like JJ McCarthy. I think he's lost 3 games since his freshman year of high school. It's like
Yeah,
absurd. He's just a dog. I made a podcast years ago, wrapping up the 2024 NFL draft, and I titled it, I think JJ McCarthy's going to be a good NFL quarterback, and I meant it. I thought this guy would be a good quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. He's going to fit right into that system. They're never going to expect him to be Josh Allen or Mahomes or Lamar, and that's fine because Kevin O'Connell, I think, is an excellent coach. I think they have one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the NFL. As a Brian Flores guy, I wanted the Panthers to hire him years ago as our head coach. Love Brian Flores. I'm really happy with this team. I think the Vikings, to me, would be my sneaky contender pick for the year because I think they're essentially the Broncos of the NFC, where it's an excellent defense, a really well coached offense with a system quarterback. But instead of having Cortland Sutton as number one receiver, you have Justin Jefferson. Like,
yeah,
it's really not that
Madison
hard of a job for JJ, and he's still impressed. He played really well last night in the fourth quarter.
in the fourth quarter. Yeah, I think that's important. At the first 3 quarters, obviously it was his first game, so it's like maybe it was those like NFL jitters, but
Yeah. I'd
he
rather have you
looked.
show up in the unscripted drives than reverse.
That's true, and I think, like you said, Brian Flores, I think is if not the best, he's got to be top three in defensive coordinators. I think he's an absolute stud of a coach. The blitz packages he brings,
Oh, yeah.
it's just he just confuses the opposing team so well.
He was holding off on blitzing early in that game. They were talking about that. It was actually a good call from Buck and Aikman. Not my favorite team. I'm a Nance and Romo truther. You know this. But Buck and Aikman were doing a really good call last night, and they were pointing out that he was holding back on the blitz and waited to show that later in the game, and it just started tearing up Caleb Williams.
Oh yeah, I think that was definitely their plan going into it with Caleb. Get him settled into those non just the 4 3-man rush looks, and then send it at him.
All right, Brayden, that is it. It was a great week one. Thank you for coming on. You'll have to be back again soon. It was great seeing you.
We'll do. We'll see what happens week 2.
All right, go Bills. You got a big game against the Jets.
Go Bills! The Bills. I got 35. Jets 24.
All right. Thanks, Brayden.
Thank you.